The night was electric in Glasgow on that memorable evening in 1995. Fans filled the concert hall with an overwhelming sense of anticipation. The air buzzed with excitement as people chatted eagerly about their favorite Elton John songs, sharing stories of how his music had touched their lives. The lights dimmed, and a hush fell over the crowd, creating a palpable tension that hinted at the magic that was about to unfold. As the first notes of the piano rang out, the audience erupted into cheers. Elton John, with his flamboyant style and powerful voice, captivated everyone from the moment he stepped onto the stage. His energy was infectious, and the crowd swayed together, united by the love of music. Each song brought memories flooding back, and smiles lit up faces as they sang along to the classics they cherished. Among those fans was Fiona McCall, a young woman who stood quietly in the aisle, her heart racing with both excitement and nervousness. She wore a beautiful handmade dress, a treasured creation from her late mother. It was soft and delicate, much like the bond they had shared. As she looked around at the sea of happy faces, Fiona felt a mixture of joy and longing. She wished her mother could be there to experience this moment with her. As Elton performed hit after hit, Fiona became lost in the music. It felt as though each note resonated deep within her soul. She closed her eyes for a moment, imagining her mother dancing beside her, laughing and singing along. The atmosphere was electric, filled with love and nostalgia, setting the stage for a night that would change everything for Fiona. Little did she know that soon, she would become part of an unforgettable memory that would stay with her forever. Fiona McCall was not just another face in the crowd, she carried with her a story woven through every thread of her dress. At 22 years old, she was still finding her way in a world that felt both bright and shadowed by the absence of her beloved mother. The handmade dress she wore was a precious keepsake, a creation full of love, crafted by her mother's hands. Each stitch told a tale of shared laughter, late-night sewing sessions, and secrets whispered between them. As Fiona admired herself in the mirror before leaving home that evening, she could almost hear her mother's voice encouraging her to wear it proudly. It was more than a dress, it was a connection to the vibrant woman who had raised her. The fabric was soft against her skin, and the gentle swirl of the dress brought back memories of twirling together in their living room, dancing to Elton John's songs on the radio. At that moment, Fiona felt both comforted and sad, a bittersweet reminder that her mother would never see her shine in such an unforgettable setting. With every powerful note sung by Elton John, Fiona felt transported back to those simpler times. As she stood quietly in the aisle, surrounded by fans who were lost in the music, she felt the weight of grief and joy coalesce within her. The concert represented more than just a performance. It was an opportunity to celebrate life and remember all that her mother had instilled in her. Though it seemed like everyone around her was enraptured by the show, Fiona felt uniquely connected to this moment. She closed her eyes and let memories wash over her like waves, strengthening the bond she would always share with her mother, even if they were separated by time and space. Little did she know, fate had other plans for this emotional night. As the concert continued, the atmosphere shifted in an almost magical way. Elton John launched into "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," a beloved anthem that instantly ignited a wave of energy throughout the concert hall. Fiona stood in the aisle, caught up in the joyous melody, her heart racing as she swayed to the rhythm. With every note, the memories of her mother flooded back, merging beautifully with the music that filled the air. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. Elton paused mid-song, scanning the audience as he often did, and his gaze landed on Fiona. It was a fleeting glance, but it felt like time had stopped just for her. A smile spread across his face as he recognized the emotion behind her presence, the earnest reflection of a fan deeply connected to his music. Somehow, he saw through the crowd and noticed her. The connection was instantaneous and profound. Fiona felt a rush of disbelief mixed with exhilaration. Did he really see her? Before she could process it further, Elton gestured toward her, beckoning her to come forward. The crowd around her erupted in cheers and applause, but all she could hear was her heartbeat, echoing in her ears. She hesitated for just a moment, battling between shyness and the thrill of being called by one of her idols. As she stepped forward into the spotlight, Fiona could hardly believe that this was happening. The world around her faded away as she walked toward Elton, feeling the warmth of the audience's energy behind her. The unexpected encounter felt like fate, an affirmation of her mother's spirit encouraging her to embrace life fully. In that serendipitous moment, Fiona realized she was not only stepping into the spotlight but also into a cherished memory that would forever honor her mother's love and support. As Elton gestured for Fiona to come forward, the world around her seemed to blur. The cheers from the crowd became a distant roar, and she felt as if she were in a dream. Her heart raced, pounding in her chest with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Was this really happening? She hesitated for just a moment, torn between disbelief and the overwhelming urge to step into the light. Taking a deep breath, Fiona gathered her courage and began to walk toward the stage. Each step felt monumental, as if she were moving through a thick fog of emotion. The spotlight bathed her in warmth, illuminating her handmade dress that swayed gently with her movements. She could feel all eyes on her, each gaze filled with admiration and curiosity, but it was Elton's gaze that held her captive. As she approached him, Fiona's mind raced with thoughts of her mother. Would she be proud? Would she have cheered for her? The memories flooded back, giving her strength. With every step closer to Elton, the magic of the moment enveloped her like a comforting embrace. She could see his smile grow wider as he welcomed her onto the stage. When Fiona finally stood before him, time seemed to stand still. The crowd erupted into applause, but it felt like only she and Elton existed in that moment. "Come on, let's dance," he said playfully, reaching out his hand. With a mix of joy and nervous laughter, Fiona took his hand and felt an electric connection, a sense of belonging that transcended everything else. As they began to twirl together under the spotlight, Fiona couldn't believe how surreal this experience was. She was dancing not just with one of her idols but also in celebration of life itself, her mother's love guiding her every move. In that instant, surrounded by music and warmth, all doubt faded away. This was where she was meant to be. As Elton took Fiona's hand, he twirled her gently under the bright spotlight, and in that magical moment, everything else faded away. The cheers from the crowd transformed into a soft melody in her ears, blending seamlessly with the music surrounding them. The world was now just her and Elton, spinning together as if they were in their own little universe. Fiona felt the fabric of her handmade dress swirl around her, a vivid reminder of her mother's love and creativity. It was as though every stitch had come to life, wrapping her in warmth and comfort. As she twirled, a wave of emotion surged within her. Joy danced alongside sorrow. She could almost hear her mother's laughter echoing through the hall, urging Fiona to embrace this beautiful experience. With each turn, Fiona's heart swelled with happiness while bittersweet tears welled in her eyes. This was a moment she had dreamed about yet never thought would truly happen. It felt like both an ending and a beginning at once. She was celebrating who she had become while honoring the memory of the woman who had shaped her life. Elton's smile radiated kindness as he continued to twirl Fiona beneath the lights, and she surrendered herself to the rhythm of the moment. She envisioned her mother standing proudly among the fans, beaming with joy at seeing her daughter basking in this extraordinary experience. In that instant, Fiona felt not alone but deeply connected to something greater, a legacy of love that transcended time and space. As Elton brought her back to face him, their eyes met with understanding. "She'd be proud," he whispered softly, sending a shiver of recognition through Fiona's heart. This dance was not merely an acknowledgement of talent. It was a celebration of love and life itself, a moment forever etched in her memory as they spun together under the spotlight. As Fiona danced with Elton, tears streamed down her cheeks, blurring the bright lights around her. Each twirl brought an overwhelming rush of emotions, joy bubbling up from within, mingling with the bittersweet ache of loss. She was living a moment she had always dreamt of, yet it was shadowed by the absence of her mother, whose love had always fueled her spirit. The melody enveloped her, each note resonating deeply in her heart. In that synchronicity of movement and music, Fiona reflected on the power of song to heal. It reminded her of the nights spent sitting at home, sharing laughter and stories with her mother while Elton's music played softly in the background. Those melodies had been a soundtrack to their lives, a shared language that connected them even in silence. Now, as she danced on that stage, those memories flooded back, bringing with them the comfort of familiarity and warmth. She could almost hear her mother's voice urging her to embrace this moment fully. "Dance like no one is watching!" The thought made her smile through her tears. With each spin under the spotlight, she could feel an embrace beyond the physical. It was as if her mother were dancing alongside her, celebrating every second. Fiona realized that music had a magical ability to bridge gaps between life and loss. It allowed love to persist even when someone was gone. As Elton encouraged her to express herself freely in front of thousands, Fiona felt a profound sense of gratitude wash over her. She wasn't just honoring her mother's memory, she was allowing that love to flow through her, a testament to resilience. In that brief yet transformative moment, surrounded by supportive cheers and Elton's glowing smile, Fiona understood that while loss was painful, love never truly disappeared. It lived on in moments like these, fleeting yet eternal, infusing strength into the dance of life. As Fiona continued to dance with Elton, the energy in the concert hall surged to new heights. The audience, captivated by the emotional moment unfolding before them, erupted into roaring cheers and applause. It was as if every person in the crowd felt a part of this shared experience, uniting them in a powerful connection that bridged their individual stories with Fiona's journey. Fiona could hear the thunderous appreciation echoing around her, and it only fueled her spirit further. Faces lit up with smiles, hands waved in the air, and voices sang along to the music that swept through the venue like a warm breeze. The cheers were not just for Elton, but also for her, celebrating her courage to step into the spotlight and embrace a moment filled with vulnerability and resilience. The crowd's reaction created an electric atmosphere, one that connected not only Fiona and Elton but also every single person present. Strangers exchanged glances of joy and understanding, some wiped away tears of happiness while others danced along to the rhythm of their own memories stirred by this heartfelt performance. It was as if music had woven an invisible thread binding them together, creating a tapestry of shared love, loss, and hope. As Fiona twirled again under the spotlight, she could feel the audience's collective energy uplift her even more. She glanced at Elton, who wore an encouraging smile as he took in the scene around them. It was a moment crafted by fate, a vivid reminder that moments like these are rare but cherished. In that fleeting yet eternal instant, surrounded by thousands who celebrated alongside her, Fiona realized she was not alone in her grief or joy. Together, they were part of something beautiful, a celebration of life that resonated deeply within all their hearts. The concert became more than just a performance. It transformed into a cathartic celebration where love transcended loss, lifting everyone higher as they shared in this unforgettable memory. As Fiona continued to dance, she felt an incredible sense of warmth enveloping her, a blend of the spotlight's glow and the audience's support. In that intimate moment, Elton leaned closer, a soft smile on his face as he whispered gently to her. She'd be proud. The words hung in the air like a tender melody, resonating deeply within Fiona's heart. At that moment, it was as if the entire world around them faded away. Fiona's breath caught in her throat, and she fought back tears once more. Those simple words carried a profound weight. They were not just a statement but an acknowledgement of her journey, her loss, and the love that still lingered. It was as if Elton understood the depths of her heart without needing to know all the details. His empathy and understanding shone through that small gesture, reminding Fiona that even the tiniest expressions of kindness can have a lasting impact. In a world filled with noise and chaos, those few words became a gentle reminder of her mother's spirit living on through her. Fiona could almost see her mother smiling proudly from the audience, encouraging her to embrace this unique experience fully. With each twirl under the spotlight, Fiona felt strengthened by Elton's whisper. It was as if he had pulled together all the memories of laughter shared with her mother, moments spent dancing in their living room and sewing together into one beautiful affirmation. The connection between them grew even deeper. She was not just dancing for herself but for the love that shaped her life. In that shared moment of vulnerability and courage, surrounded by thousands who felt the magic too, Fiona understood how significant it was to honor those we've lost while celebrating life. Elton's kind words transformed what could have been a fleeting moment into a cherished memory, one that would remind her of love's enduring power long after the music faded away. As the music continued to play and the crowd cheered, Fiona felt a wave of emotions wash over her. The dance with Elton had been more than just a moment of joy. It had become a profound tribute to her mother's influence on her life. Thoughts of her mother rushed back, filling her heart with nostalgia. She remembered the way her mother used to encourage her to be brave and follow her dreams, always reminding her that life was meant to be celebrated. In that spotlight, surrounded by thousands, Fiona realized how much of who she was had been shaped by her mother's love and guidance. It was that love that had inspired her to wear the handmade dress, a symbol of their bond and shared memories. Each twirl felt like a dance they might have shared together, her mother's spirit infused in every spin. The encouragement from Elton resonated deeply with her. It was as if he could see how much this moment honored her mother's legacy. Fiona reflected on the lessons her mother had imparted: to embrace life fully, to find joy even in sorrow, and to cherish every moment. This experience was not only a celebration of music but also a reminder that grief and joy often coexist. Even amidst the pain of loss, there could be beauty, love, and shared experiences that uplifted the spirit. As tears glistened in her eyes, Fiona knew that she would carry this moment with her forever. It was more than just a dance. It was an affirmation of resilience and love that would continue to guide her through life's challenges. In honoring her mother's memory through this beautiful experience, Fiona felt empowered to forge ahead, knowing that love never truly fades, it transforms and grows, lighting the path forward even in the darkest times. As the concert came to a close and the last notes of music faded, Fiona stood on the stage, still basking in the warmth of that unforgettable moment. The experience had been a beautiful fusion of joy and sorrow, a reminder of how music can weave together threads of love, loss, and celebration. It was in that Glasgow concert hall, surrounded by thousands of strangers who had become a part of her journey, that she felt the true power of music to connect hearts and heal wounds. Concerts have a magical ability to create lasting memories, where individual experiences merge into a collective celebration. In this instance, Fiona's personal tribute to her mother resonated not only with her but with everyone present. The shared emotions, the roaring cheers, and the lively applause all reflected a communal understanding of life's ups and downs. They recognized that while loss can feel isolating, music has a way of inviting us back into the embrace of love and community. Fiona understood now that every note played and every lyric sung was a celebration of those we hold dear, those who have shaped our lives and continue to inspire us even in their absence. In remembering her mother during such a joyful occasion, she felt empowered to carry forth that legacy, honoring her memory by embracing life with open arms. This experience taught her that it's okay to feel both joy and sadness simultaneously. They are like two sides of the same coin. As the crowd began to disperse, Fiona looked around at the smiling faces and felt grateful for this powerful reminder that every song tells a story, every dance holds significance, and every moment shared under the spotlight creates a legacy that lasts far beyond the final curtain call. Through music, love lives on, transforming grief into beauty and allowing us to celebrate life in all its complexities.